So to get started today, I'm going to start by prepping my skin. Every time I do my makeup, I want to make sure I have some sort of moisturizer or serum on my face because my skin is typically prone to getting pretty dry. So what I'm going to start off with is a Kiehl's serum. And I'm just going to put a few drops on my face and rub it into my skin. Next, I'm going to go in with an under eye cream. I typically use this Kiehl's Avocado Eye Treatment. So I'm just going to put a little on my finger and dab underneath my eyes. And feel free to be generous with this. You don't need too much, but it's always good to have really moisturized under eyes. So there's never anything wrong with accidentally using too much. So now pretty much my skin is prepped, so I'm going to start actually getting into my makeup. So I'm going to first go in and do some primer. The one I'm using today is this e.l.f. Or ELF. I never know which way to say it. I'm going to say e.l.f. Blemish Control Face Primer. So I'm just going to rub this in between my fingers and then apply it to my face. I have a lot of different creams as well as primer on my face. What I like to do is let this stuff dry prior to me putting on my foundation. So I'm actually going to do my eyes first, and then I'm going to come back and do my face. So today for eyes, I am using this Doucce eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in, I'm probably using about 3 colors on this palette. So the first color I'm going to use is this one right here. So I'm going to grab this color and then I'm going to put it into the crease of my eye. I'm going to actually use this here instead. I've been doing a lot of bright colors lately. And it's really fun, but I feel like now I kind of want something a little bit more muted. Next, I'm going to go in with another one of my blending brushes, if I can find it, and I'm kind of going to add to that layering. So I'm going to go in with this color right at the end, and I'm going to layer that into my eye. And I love this look because it kind of works on anybody, whether you have whatever color eyes you have, whatever type of skin tone you have. This is a good look. Coppers and kind of reddish colors work very well on I think a lot of skin tones. So it's definitely a look I recommend if you're kind of looking for a nighttime look that's not too over the top. So next what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go in with a black shadow. I'm just using this MAC shadow right here. It's just a single shadow. And I'm just going to apply a little bit to basically a smoking brush and then put it into the corners of my eyes. And I always like to layer these colors because you want to basically like blend the black in and have it slowly fade into your eye. You don't want there to be a stark difference between the two. Now I'm going to go back on my blending brush and blend it in. Now for an extra pop, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add a little bit of liquid highlighter onto my eyes, and then I'm going to layer it with a little bit more highlighted shine on top. I'm going to put a little bit on my eyes and then just to make them pop right in the center. And just with my finger, I'm gonna blend it in. This color is phenomenal. Oh. Have you seen anything more beautiful? I haven't. Now I'm going to go in with actually the highlighter I'm going to use on my face, and I'm going to put that as a shadow right on top. So I'm using this, do you know what, I can't even say this name. Liz Waitier. I'm probably totally destroying that. I apologize. I've actually never used this brand before, but I do love this highlighter. So it looks like this on the outside. And then the inside looks like this. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this, this color right here, and I'm going to put that on top of the cream highlighter. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with my blending brush again with that first crease color I used, and I'm going to blend it out a bit. Wow, I'm just loving the shine right now. Wow. But I feel like I do need a little bit more black, so I'm going to add a little bit more black to the corner of my eye. You guys, and the thing about like eyeshadow, sometimes I think a lot of my friends say like, oh, like I don't use shadow a lot. I don't feel comfortable doing crazy looks. The thing is that it's always about layering. Like you don't need to put a ton on it first. You can put on a little bit and add and build on the color, and that's what's great about eyeshadow is that it doesn't need to just be one color. It can be a mixture of several different colors, and that's also the beauty of blending brushes, is they just make the colors all blend together nicely. So you don't always need to get it perfect right when you put it on your face. And with that same highlighter I used for my, just right in the center of my lid, I'm going to use that underneath my brow as well. So I'm going to get a small brush. Next, I'm going to go in and do my eyeliner. So eyeliner is a really crucial piece of this look. There's a lot of drama with the shadow, but because I'm doing a more muted lip, I definitely want to make sure that my eyes are popping a lot. So I will always do that with eyeliner. I was actually just trying to use this other eyeliner for a second, but it was very dry, so I'm going in with a different one. I am using the Kat Von D Tattoo Liner, and I'm going to go in with this and make my wing. For those of you who have never done wings before, don't be frightened. It takes some time to actually learn how to do it, but there is a technique to all of this. So I'm gonna get a little closer up just so I can see myself, but I tend to like to drag. I can't talk and do this at the same time, so I'm just gonna explain it first. I take my eyeliner and pull it in from the middle to complete the line on my lid, and then I create a mark to basically where my wing is gonna be to connect it to the rest of basically the rest of the line. So eyes are done. I am going to move on to face now. So first what I'm going to start off with is my favorite foundation, the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I am in the color 4.5. And I'm just going to put a little bit on my finger and dab it onto my face. And I'm just going to blend that in with the Beauty Blender. And then I'm gonna go in and do contour. Contour and conceal. So for contour today, I am using this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood contour wand. I can't talk. And I love this product because it glides on super easy, it blends well, it's a great color, and you don't need to use a ton to get the look that you're going for. So let's take it out like this. I'm gonna make a 3, might need a little bit more product on here. So you just gotta like squeeze the product out. So just go in a 3, I go from my forehead to the hollows of my cheeks and then underneath my jawline. I do that as the same on the other side. What I'm gonna do with this is I am actually going to, I didn't take my brush out for this, so let me grab that and then I will continue contouring. So I'm just using a little stippling brush to blend in my contour. So this is just to get it initially blended, but then I'm gonna go in with a beauty blender to actually really blend in the rest of the color. And I use this brush because it really gets the product into my hairline and into the places where I really want it to be. And also, if you've never contoured before, I know I'm going through this really quickly right now, but I will do a whole video on contouring as well. So this won't be so scary. Now I'm gonna go in with my beauty blender and blend in the product. This is literally a workout sometimes for my arm when I'm doing this. It requires a lot of patience. You end up just spending a lot of time like dabbing product into your face to make it look nice. Now it might be scary if you don't have concealer on yet. It's gonna look like you have like dark circles with brown stuff all over your face, but once you do concealer, this face is just gonna look fantastic, whether that be mine or yours. Contouring is the most amazing thing. And so next what I'm gonna do is some color corrector and concealer. So color corrector is my best friend. I have under eye circles. It comes from lack of sleep, stress, just daily life things happening. So I love to use color corrector to really offset that purplish tone underneath my eyes. So I use the Dermablend Quick Fix red color corrector. And I'm just gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand and then basically just use a brush and apply underneath my eye. So I'm just putting it on the back of my hand. And when you use this stuff, this Dermablend color corrector, it does come, it's a powder form, but when it goes on your face, it actually turns into a cream. It's actually kind of amazing, it's like magic. So I'm gonna go in with one of my concealer brushes and I'm gonna blend it on the back of my hand. I'm gonna put the product on right underneath my eye. So it's so red and it really takes away all of that color. It's quite amazing. Just make sure that whenever you put it away, really make sure that top is sealed down. I've had this stuff spill and it's a nightmare. So now that I've color corrector, I'm gonna go in with concealer. I use the Tarte Aqua Concealer in the color Fair Light. And I'm just gonna put a little bit underneath my eye, right where basically I put the color corrector. And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna blend it with my beauty blender. And then what I do is like sometimes it's often there's like a stark difference between my eyes and my contour. So I just kind of use the bigger side and blend everything together. But ends up being a problem. And then I just do here, there. Perfect. Amazing what that can do. Next, I am going to go in with my translucent powder. So I'm going to grab my makeup bag. I seem to have forgotten to put it out here with me. So I just use the Too Faced translucent powder to set my under eyes. So I'm just going to use a little bit of this. I don't use a ton. I'm not going to bake today, but I just use a little bit to keep the concealer basically in place all day. So I'm going to put a little bit out here, and with a small brush, I just put a little bit on the back of my brush, like that, and then I'm going to place it underneath my eye. And that's just like for that flawless finish. Next, I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my bronzer. So for bronzer today, I'm just using the Hoola Benefit Bronzer. And I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my, basically just an angled brush, and apply to the same areas where I applied my liquid contour. And always remember at the end, sometimes what I tend to do is just, I'll use a big fluffy powder brush and I will blend it all in so the colors really work well together. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and do my blush. So for blush today, I am using the Charlotte Tilbury Cheek to Chic, she calls it a pop blusher. This stuff is fabulous. And I'm just going to apply that to the apples of my cheeks. So for highlighter today, I am actually going to use a little bit of two things. One, I'm going to use that liquid highlighter that I used on my eyes. And I'm going to put that a little bit on the high parts of my cheekbones. Ooh, I kind of did a lot there. Whoopsie. I will use that on the bridge of my nose. I had a feeling that would happen, so that's why I didn't put more on my nose. And right above my lip. There's nothing wrong with too much highlighter, but you don't want to look like you're a disco ball either. So there's a fine line. Okay. Highlighter's on. And just to emphasize my highlighter, I'm going to put a powdered highlighter on top. So for that, I'm using that same highlighter that I used above my brow bone. So I'm going to use this color right here. And I'm going to put a little bit on the back of a feather brush. I'm going to apply to the same areas where I put the liquid highlighter. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to complete my eyes. So I'm going to put actually a little bit of the shadow that I put in my crease underneath my eye. So that was, to show you correctly, that was this color right here. I'm going to get a little bit of that color and I'm going to put it right underneath my eye. Smear it a little. Get my makeup blender and dab it away. And then again, I'm going to get the other color I used, which was right here. I'm going to also layer that on top. So the last part of my makeup look, I'm going to put on some mascara. My favorite mascara that I use is the Dior Iconic Overcurl Mascara in black, and I'm just going to layer that on my lashes. Definitely be generous with mascara. There's never a thing as too much mascara. It just makes your lashes look amazing. And I love this mascara. If you don't have one that works for you right now, this Dior mascara is my favorite. I've been using it for the last 5 years and it's absolutely fantastic. And a little bit underneath my lashes. On my bottom lashes, I mean. So that completes my eyes, and then what the last two pieces are going to be my eyebrows as well as my lips. So for my eyebrows, I'm just going to be using a eyeshadow, or not an eyeshadow, a eyebrow powder from Anastasia. I don't have a ton to fill in with my brows, so I don't typically use a pencil, but if you are filling in your eyebrows a little bit more, I would definitely suggest using the Anastasia Brow Wiz. It's much more versatile and looks a lot more natural than just using powder. But for today, I'm going to be using the Anastasia powder. And I'm just going to put a little bit on an angled brush and apply to my eyebrows. Just need to fill in a few gaps. So I do have pretty thick brows. Perfect. And then to finish off my brows, I'm going to use the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel just to keep my eyebrows in place. And add just a little bit just to lift up my brows. So the last piece of this is my lips. So just to moisturize my lips, I tend to have really dry lips, especially in the winter time. So I love to use Aquaphor before I go to bed, when I wake up, before I do my makeup, and it's really nice to really moisturize your lips and make sure they're not cracking or dry. So this is the Aquaphor Lip Protectant Plus Sunscreen. And I'm just going to apply a little bit to my lips before I put on my lipstick. And then I'm going to go in with one of my MAC lip liners called Strip Down. This is one of my favorites. It's just like a really nice solid brown nudish color. Looks like this. And I'm just going to line my lips. I also tend to fill into my lip a little bit as well. And then just layer the lipstick on top of it. So for lipstick today, I'm going to be using the Charlotte Tilbury lipstick called the Cindy. It's kind of a nice nudish pink color, maybe nudish peach color. So I'm just going to layer this color on top of the lip liner that I just applied. And then just to add a little bit more glam to this look, I'm using a Jouer lip gloss topper. This one is called Tan Lines. And it's kind of like this beautiful copper shimmery color. And I'm just gonna layer that on top of my lips. Ooh. And it smells amazing. Oh. And just rub it in between. So the final part of my look is going to be doing a little bit of setting spray to set my makeup for the rest of the night. And I'm using the Derma Blend Power Setter 2-in-1. I'm going to spray that all over my face. And there you have it. This is my final look. I hope you enjoyed this video, and definitely tune in for more videos to come.